Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 21 of TLDR Podcast. And according to Tradon, this podcast can drink now.
Yes.
We finally have everybody back for the first time in a long time for a full episode this time. All had some pretty eventful weeks, and in Tyler's case, a couple of weeks that were eventful. So let's get into it. Tradon and I just came back from Indiana for a week on Sunday. And honestly, I'm still trying to get used to the time change. That 3-hour difference is gnarly. Congrats again to Matt and Lauren. I hope you guys are having a happy honeymoon and enjoying every second of it. But anyway, Tradon, why don't you tell us all about it?
I mean, yeah, we got to go up for a whole week to Indiana, different culture there. A little bit slower, but it was nice to kind of relax. We drank every day, which was amazing. And we really kicked back. There's not much more I can say. I mean, Indiana is a fun place to visit, so if you have a chance, definitely do so. We went to, Indianapolis alone is pretty interesting as well. Sorry, give me a second here.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna say like you woke up like hangover. I don't know, teeth missing or like a ski mask on your face. I don't know.
One day he woke up and he couldn't move his shoulders. That was pretty gnarly.
Why?
Yeah, both of them, dude.
Yeah, but I mean, it was fun. And again, congratulations to Matt and Lauren. I'm glad that we could have been a part of that. What's so funny? I mean,
why were your shoulders broken?
Admittedly, too much football and not enough working out before. My shoulders are shot holding them up, catching balls, throwing balls. It was a rough night. One of those nights, let me tell you.
Catching balls and throwing balls. It was a rough night. Yep, too many balls for one night apparently.
Too many balls for Trout.
Very athletic.
Shoulders. Anyway, Tyler, how was the last couple of weeks in Bermuda?
Bermuda was great. Definitely happy to be back, but it was a nice 3 weeks out there in the Triangle. Other than the shitty Wi-Fi, having to record a podcast and upload a podcast there. Had a wonderful time. It was awesome to experience rugby, pro rugby. Some amazing athletes, got to work with them. It was a great experience. So, like you mentioned, 3-hour difference for you guys. It's a 4-hour difference for me. So I'm kind of the same way, a little bit jet lagged, a little bit tired, but hey, I'm here, I'm back, ready to rock and roll.
Alex is coming off his best episode so far. How do you feel, man?
I feel great. James,
What's up?
I win in fantasy football this week?
Yes,
Yeah.
you did. And you beat Jeremiah, I think.
Who was in first place? Am I right?
Who was in first place, correct.
Damn.
And I
Upset
forgot to
here.
update my lineup.
And you had somebody on bye or something. That was crazy.
Hell yeah. Okay, Jeremiah, I don't know who you are. I don't know if you listen, but suck it.
Josh Allen had like 40 points too.
Dude, I was telling you. I told you in the QB podcast like 4 months ago. Josh Allen, baby.
He's the GOAT.
He's the GOAT.
How did Daniel Jones do?
Not good. He had 10 points, I think.
Damn it.
He might have tripped every single play.
Damn it.
And finally, Eric, how you doing, man?
I'm good. What did I do? I don't even fucking remember. I think I ate sushi. I ate poke. And I watched the show The Haunting of Bly Manor. It's good. The first season, The Haunting of Hill House, better. Spooky season, it's kind of ended already, but check those out, guys. Netflix watchers.
Not a sponsor.
That is fine. All right. All good stuff, guys. We're going to take a quick break, but when we return, Tradon's going to take us through some football Jeopardy. Welcome back, everyone. So you guys may have heard, may not have heard, but there's some pretty sad news this weekend, and that was the passing of Alex Trebek, the host of Jeopardy for a long, long, long time. And because of that, we'd like to dedicate this segment to him. Tradon, take it away.
Yes. So in honor of Alex Trebek, we're going to play some Jeopardy. This week, we're going to change things up a bit. We're going to focus on one sport. The rounds from now on are going to kind of, be kind of sport specific. And since we're in the middle point, a little past the middle point of the NFL season, I say, you know what? Let's do some football. So here's how it's going to work. Obviously, it's going to work the same way. We're just going to start off with Eric. Why don't you take us away?
Let's go MVP, because there's 2 exclamation points for 3.
For 3. This MVP owns the Super Bowl scoring record.
Super Bowl scoring record.
James.
Who is Tom Brady?
Who is Jerry Rice?
Oh my God!
My guy.
I did
It was
not
the
know that,
90s,
James.
dude.
That's
Of all the
embarrassing.
people I thought would miss that,
The
you're the
greatest
last
Niner
one.
never of all history.
That was before I watched football.
3-hour time difference.
I guess I will say this for the listeners. We have the following categories: play by the rules, teamwork, Hall of Fame baby, Super Bowl, and MVP. Eric, give us the next one.
Play by the rules for 2.
Ooh. The 2-point conversion was added into the NCAA in 1958, followed by high school in 1969, and the CFL in 1975. The NFL finally followed suit in this year. Eric, or I'm sorry. It was Alex.
I have no idea. 1981.
Wrong, Eric.
Damn it.
Last chance.
1975.
It wasn't 1975, and I'll give James one last chance.
1985.
1994.
What?
That stat alone floored me. That alone floored me. So no, we have no points on the board. I couldn't believe that it took that long for the NFL to have the 2-point conversion, but alas, it did. Eric, again.
Looks like I'm gonna pick every goddamn teamwork for 1.
All right. This NCAA Division I school's mascot is based off the famous Green Bay Packers P. Anybody?
Dude, my chat thing is lagging too, but it doesn't matter.
No idea.
I don't know the answer.
Not a clue. Can I guess? I'm going to guess here.
Yes, please give a guess, James.
What is Penn State?
Well, Penn State is what is it, a Panther or whatever? So it's not Penn State. Eric?
Wait, let me read this question really fast. Green Bay Packers.
It's actually the
Dude,
Green
this is
Bay
so hard.
Packers G. It's not
Georgia.
Georgia.
Oh.
Damn it, Tradon.
I mean, you basically just gave me the answer, but yeah, Georgia.
That was
It's
my
like,
bad.
What?
We should all get a
Yes.
point for that.
Would you guys have known that if I didn't screw up?
Yes.
We probably would have gotten a little closer.
I would have gotten it.
Minimum.
Fair enough. All right, Eric.
All right, looks like I'm picking again, huh?
My bad, boys, on that one.
Super Bowl for 1.
Super Bowl for 1. All right. This NFL team was the first to win 5 Super Bowls. Alex.
I believe it's the Steelers. Oh, balls.
The San Francisco 49ers. Again, I gave 2 49ers questions to this whole thing, and the 49ers fan, or so-called, didn't even get them right. So I'm
apparently
a
not
little
a fan.
I'm a little worried.
Shame.
I'm a little worried. All right. James, give us a new one.
Let's go teamwork for 4.
Teamwork for 4. Ooh.
Gosh.
This NFL team is the only team to have played in both the NFC and the AFC championship games in its history. James.
What is Chicago?
It is not
Bears.
Chicago.
Damn.
Anybody else want Tyler?
Colts.
Nope.
Fuck.
And Eric, last chance.
Raiders.
No.
This is hard.
It is the Seattle Seahawks.
Ah, what the fuck?
Dude, we are dumb.
Dude, we don't
Alex,
watch football.
Alex,
at
give
all.
us a category.
Okay, let's do MVP for 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
This individual has the most regular season MVP awards. I think that was that Alex.
Peyton Manning.
That is That is absolutely correct.
On the board, baby.
Yeah.
Not getting skunked. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
All that matters.
All right, give us another one, Alex.
Let's do Play by the rules 3.
Play by the rules for 3. While still legal, this move has become very rare due to the modern football's elongated and pointed shape. In fact, the last successful attempt since 1941 occurred on January 1st, 2006.
This is like a fucking rugby play, isn't it, Tyler?
It is.
Oh.
That looks like I see Alex.
I believe it's called a drop kick, maybe.
That is absolutely correct.
Hells yeah.
Damn.
Absolutely correct.
I was gonna call
what
it
were you
footy.
doing in Bermuda? Were you even paying attention?
No, was not.
Of course not.
I was drinking beer.
This one,
I
Alex.
was drunk the whole time.
I was gonna call it footy or something.
Let's do Hall of Fame, baby, for 4.
Okay. This Hall of Famer went by the nickname Sweetness.
Oh man.
Oh Lord.
I found this trivia question
How
on
long
a lot
ago?
of different.
How long ago did he go by this?
Can we get a hint?
Yeah. Can we phone a friend?
To be honest,
that's the wrong game
I
You don't remember?
I don't really remember who it is.
Oh man. All right. Shit.
Does anybody want to venture a guess?
I have
Well,
no
fuck.
No. I have no idea.
I was gonna say Reggie Bush, but he's not a Hall of Famer. Reggie Bush?
Walter Payton.
Right,
You got the position right at least.
Yeah.
Okay, Alex, give us another one.
Let's do Super Bowl for 2.
Super Bowl for 2.
XL.
In Super Bowl 40, this quarterback completed just 90 of 21 passes for 123 yards and 2 interceptions, giving him a passer rating of 22.6, but somehow still managed to win the Super Bowl. Eric.
Peyton Manning?
No.
Fuck.
Any guesses? So to give you guys some perspective, this is the worst passer rating, and this individual still won the game.
I think I might know who it is, but
And he still plays now.
I think I know who it is. Fuck.
Tyler?
Tom Brady.
No.
Fuck.
Because Tom Brady has an MVP in like almost all
He just
be
played in
Joe
a bunch of
Flacco.
them, so I just was going by numbers.
Watch it be Joe Flacco.
Ben
Oh, Big
Ben?
I thought
I was
Roethlisberger.
gonna say
that.
Russell Wilson.
That makes
I
sense.
mean, yeah, Russell Wilson.
All right. Tyler, give us a category.
Let's do play by the rules for 1.
All right. Until 1912, when the end zone was added to the field, the value of a touchdown was worth this many points. You guys know your football history. Tyler.
5. Ah,
4. 4 points. Very, very close though.
oh, man.
gosh.
That seemed kind of crazy to me, but
Wow.
yeah. There's actually a really good another trivia question coming up regarding rules.
Alex, let's just keep James and Tyler at zeros. That's our goal.
Dude, this is terrible.
So let's give an update. Alex has 4 points, Eric 1, and James and Tyler are. If you guys were playing golf, I would want that score at a goose egg each. Tyler, give us a category.
Teamwork for 2.
All right. The top 25 scorers in history of the NFL play this position. That looks like Alex.
Kicker.
That is correct.
I actually knew that one.
Come on, James.
Good one.
I was the next on there.
Let's see. Let's do MVP for 4.
All right. This Super Bowl MVP guaranteed his team would win Super Bowl 3. Alex.
Namath.
Good call.
Wow.
Jesus.
He has
Go
a jacket
Namath.
and everything.
Alex
Dude.
is taking it away with 10 points. Eric still has 1. James and Tyler, you guys got to do something.
I think it's over,
Trying.
but keep going.
It is over. I'm going to start calling it 0.
Go ahead, Alex.
Let's do Hall of Fame, baby, for 1.
All right. The Football Hall of Fame is located in this U.S. city. Tyler.
It's Cleveland, right?
No, sir.
Fuck.
I'll give James a chance.
Oh, I was wrong. I was going to go Ohio. I was going to go Cleveland too.
It's
Wait, let me go.
close. Eric.
Yeah, what if I know it?
Or, I'm
I
sorry,
think you were
Alex.
Wait. I fucking typed in. Oh, wait, did Alex
Yeah,
type
Alex
it too?
did.
Never mind.
I'm pretty sure it's in Canton.
Yes, it is Canton, Ohio. Damn
It's
it.
Canton, Ohio.
Jesus.
Shit.
Come on,
Not the
boys.
right state. Do I get half a point?
I wish I could give you half a point, but
Damn it.
go ahead. Go ahead,
I'm blaming my
Alex.
3-hour time difference.
MVP for 2.
All right, last MVP one. This linebacker is the only player to be voted the Super Bowl MVP from a losing team. James.
Ray Lewis.
Chuck
Oh,
Howley
who the
in Super Bowl 5.
I don't even know, bro.
Oh, you didn't watch Super Bowl 5?
Come on, bro.
Reaction
sucks.
was great.
Hey, at least we're all learning something today.
Yeah, we're learning.
I suck at football.
Alex, what you got?
Play by the rules 4, because I'm sure this won't be impossible.
This one's my
answer.
favorite one.
No.
In
Oh, this is
early
a
days,
paragraph.
early day football, the forward pass was illegal. It was this U.S. president who threatened to ban football unless rules were established to ensure player safety. Thus, the forward pass was introduced. Eric.
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
No. Little late. It came in earlier than that.
Damn.
But he is a very, he is a famous president. So, Tyler?
Woodrow Wilson.
No, still too late. And Alex?
Teddy Roosevelt.
Yes, sir. Teddy
Jesus
Roosevelt.
Christ.
Come on, boys.
Oh my
Jesus.
God.
15
Alex.
If only he was
to
this good
1
at
to
fantasy.
0 to 0.
Dude,
Update.
right? Excuse me, James. I won both of my leagues this week. Thank you.
Alex, let's keep going.
Hall of Fame baby for 2.
All right. This NFL team has the most players in the Hall of Fame. I see Eric first.
Cowboys.
No, sir. Tyler?
Fuck.
Tyler's probably going to say the Cowboys. Now he gets
Well, you have a 1 in 31 chance now.
Yeah, I'm going to go 49ers.
No, sir.
Shit.
And James, I'll give you one shot.
Chicago Bears.
Ding, ding, ding.
No!
Hey.
on the board.
I'm on the board. Yes.
James is in
God
second with
damn
2
it.
points.
All
Alex
right,
is rolling.
let's keep Tyler at 0. Let's keep Tyler at 0.
Fuck.
All right. James, give us a topic.
3.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Hall of Fame, baby. For 3.
Hall of Fame, baby. Tied with Notre Dame. This other university has the most inductees into the Pro Football Hall of Fame at 13. This looks like Eric.
USC.
USC.
Damn
and
it.
this question is in honor of our boy Nathan Rivera. You're a huge USC fan. I had to throw this in one for you, buddy. I know you don't
Fuck
listen
yeah.
to it, but I know your brother does. Let him know we gave a shout out to your brother there.
I'm back in second, baby. Jay, well, give me my points. Trade
Hey, calm down. All right, Eric, what you got?
Let's just Super Bowl for 4. Let's get the highest scoring out of here.
This NFL team was the first wildcard team to win the Super Bowl on January 25th, 1981. Do you guys know your history?
No.
Tradon. Does he get me?
I'm sorry, Eric.
Raiders.
Nope.
Fuck.
James?
Bears.
It was the Raiders.
What the fuck?
Did you just guess that?
Yeah.
Oh, God. Nice
But
job.
I said the Raiders a few times earlier, so I was like, they're gonna land on
Raiders
one
have
of these.
have to work some way. All right, Eric.
Teamwork for 3.
Teamwork for 3. The mascot for this team is named Poe. How poetic.
Oh.
Oh, this
Is
one
it
was a
Division
light
1
bulb
or no?
moment for me, boys. This one was a light bulb moment for me. James?
Patriots.
No, sir.
Is it NFL?
Tyler, yes.
Panthers.
No. And Eric?
Raiders.
No. Baltimore Ravens.
I
Edgar
get
Allan
it.
Poe,
Get it.
Raven.
God damn it.
Oh, okay.
How poetic.
The 3-eyed
All
Raven.
right. And to the final question, we got Super Bowl for 3. Tyler, this is your last
Hey,
chance, my guy.
Keep
Yep.
Tyler off the boards.
Let me reset the answer board. Here we go. Super Bowl 1 was held on January 15th, 1967 between the Green Bay Packers and Kansas City Chiefs in this legendary stadium. Tyler?
I thought you were like joking.
It's a legendary stadium.
He's done.
Yankee Stadium.
0.
No.
Oh my God.
James?
Soldier Field.
No. And Eric?
Lambeau.
No, sir. I'm gonna give Alex a chance.
Legendary Stadium. Wait, James, what did you say? You
Soldier Field.
Chicago.
Chicago. Yep.
Legendary Stadium. Arrowhead. I don't know.
The Memorial Coliseum.
No.
Dude, I was going to
Los
guess that.
Angeles.
Motherfucker.
Tyler, is that a fat zero?
That is a fat goose egg for Tyler.
That is a beer mile on deck for Tyler.
Oh my God.
So our winner, even though he did win this last week of fantasy, but he's still in last place. But he did win Jeopardy today. Alex 15, Eric 2, Eric 8, James 2, and Tyler a big fat goose egg.
I destroyed.
Oh my
You
God.
did. You did. Hey boys, appreciate you. You know, I think these are fun. I think this was a good tribute to Alex Trebek, and I think in a couple of weeks we'll do another one with a different sport. How's that sound?
I think that's a great idea. If I keep playing like that, for sure.
All right, that's Jeopardy, boys.
Tradon's version of TLDR Jeopardy is freaking hard. It's ridiculous, but it gets better and better each time we do it. We're gonna take another quick break, but when we return, Tyler's going to talk about rules in sport. 2, fun stuff. 1. Welcome back. So, who is the biggest rule follower in this podcast? You guessed it. It's Tyler. So, of course, he'd want to do an entire segment about sports rules. Tyler, it's all you, my guy.
Yeah, so I thought this would be a fun segment to do. Basically, we're going to kind of go around and we're each going to pick a rule of any sport that you guys do not like and how you do the change. I think we all have a sport or something about a sport that just kind of irks us the wrong way when we watch it, and we just wish it was a little bit different. So I'm going to go around first, and then I'll finish with mine. So let's start off with James. What do you got?
Okay. So I didn't really know what to do with this one, so I'm just going to, we'll do it live. But the thing I don't like the most about football is the fact that you can't touch the QB after he begins to slide when he's running. I absolutely hate that rule. Like, a lot of QBs slide after the defender's already in their tackling motion. Like, what are you supposed to do as a defender? Like, magically move out of the way or levitate? You can't do that. That's not how the world works. It doesn't make sense. I think, like, mobile QBs right now, like Kyler Murray, they're starting to take advantage of this rule by fake sliding so no one tackles them, and then they run for more yards. So that's how he gets, like, 100 yards a game. He does that all the time.
I remember that's when you ripped the silverware out. That was the day you ripped the silverware out.
It was because we played Kyler Murray, and he killed my team. But it sucks because every single rule nowadays, every single rule in the NFL goes against the defense. They're all made for the offense to exploit. So it's like there's no more defense in the NFL. It sucks. So how I would change it, I think if a QB decides to run with the ball out of the pocket, he should be treated like every other runner who has the ball, and he gets tackled without a penalty flag. It's his decision. If he didn't want to get tackled, take a knee. Throw the ball out of bounds. Like, dude, don't slide and expect nobody to touch you. And that's the rule I hate the most.
Hey, James, can we talk about – I saw this meme about Kyler Murray. Can we talk about how he runs like a little kid who just stole a toy with the football?
Have you seen Patrick Mahomes waddle, dude?
Mahomes is sick around.
Yeah, true. But every time I see Kyler Murray like carry the football, I don't know how he hangs on to it. But he looks like he just like stole something and he's like running around like a little kid.
Stride frequency.
Like 5'6".
It's one of the names. One of the names of speed is stride frequency Tradon. So there's your answer, scientifically speaking.
Hey man, football needs more violence. So, James, I'm with you on that. Alex, what rule do you not like?
I also went football, NFL specifically, and I went the overtime rule. It is the most ridiculous thing in sports. If you're, two teams, they fought for 60 minutes, they're tied, a coin flip, one team scores a touchdown, it's over. The other team doesn't even get a chance to touch the ball. All the 3 other major sports have at least, baseball, you play a top and a bottom of an inning. Basketball, you get 5 minutes. Hockey, you get 5, and then you go to the shootout. Football, easily fixable. You give them a 10-minute overtime period. You can still do the coin flip. You play the period out. If there's no score after that, they're still tied. Field goal kickoffs, baby. That's the answer.
And then
You
they go back
start-
each distance. They like go
yeah,
back.
baby.
Mhm.
You start at 50 because we're trying to get through this. You start at 50. So if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you got Justin Tucker, dude. Just tie the game. Get it to overtime. You're gonna win. Start at 50. Each kicker makes that. Go to 55. Each kicker makes that. But no defensive rush. You just get a straight kick all the way back. Keep going until somebody misses.
Yeah, that's exactly how Rugby 10s does their overtime.
So you were paying attention.
I was paying attention in this part.
You're a liar.
Yeah. So basically, in Rugby 10s, after you score a try, you get a conversion point, and you can have an option depending on where on the field for 1, 2, 3, or 5. So obviously, the further back you are to kick it into the field goal depends on the points you get. So in overtime, if the game is still tied after regulation, they do exactly that. They just have the kickers do a kickoff basically, and they just alternate turns to see who will miss the first kick. So I think that's a cool idea.
Is it a drop kick?
No, it's just like a regular kickoff like in football.
They have little
Little
like
tees.
stands.
Yeah.
Little tees.
Mhm. Yeah. Eric, what do you got?
I got changing NBA fouls.
Oh God.
Yeah, let's get traded on the fucking high horse here. Fouls should be actual fouls. Games shouldn't be dictated by a simple slap in the wrist or like maybe like a body contact in the air when the player has his hands up and away. Like a foul should be like a hockey hip check or like a football shoulder or something. Like too many fucking fouls get called every game, especially in the fourth quarter. It literally changes momentum for teams. Tradon and Peter Griffin would say it fucking grinds my gears. Specific players also seem to get more foul calls than ever. Every team has the one guy who gets the most calls for the team. That shit's not fucking fair. All right? It just isn't. They need to take notes from the NHL and the MLB by not ruining games via calls. Tradon, what do you have to fucking say?
I can't speak to the one foul that really grinds my gears, so to speak, is charging. I try to understand it, but to me, a player gets punished for taking the ball to the hoop, and a guy just maybe gets flown back to the back off the court. And my suggestion is either A, don't fucking stand there, or if you're gonna stand there, you better make it worth it. The guy's trying to score. He's not trying to hurt you. He's not trying to he's not trying to legitimately like knock you over. He's literally trying to get to the basket and make it make a play. And they get like, as if his feet's planted, it's an automatic charging. It's just like,
you always hear that.
I want to see more push towards the basket myself. I think that's fun. And so maybe I'm not a basketball guy, so maybe I'm speaking on my ass, but I just don't like the charging call or charging foul.
Yeah. You always hear like, oh, his feet were set. And it's like you said, they just like jump in the way and their feet aren't moving. Of course his feet were set. He just jumped in front of them.
And players are starting to exploit that and flop backwards, and they're called like 90% of the time.
Or a guy goes in and he gets like tapped on the wrist and he's just screaming in the ref's ear, Alex Caruso, etc. But Caruso's a good player. He deserves it. But still, that shit, it gets annoying.
Yeah, it does seem that basketball, sometimes their fouls that they call are kind of vague, and there's not really any rhyme or reason for it. It's just any kind of contact, even though it's a contact sport. For me, watching it can get a little annoying as well. Tradon, what's your rule change?
It's tough. There's a few that I kind of bounced around. In hockey, like the trapezoid rule, I think they should just get rid of that. But the one that I guess I kind of stick on because we haven't talked about this sport, it's not hockey, it's baseball, is I don't think there should be intentional walks. I think intentional walks are fucking stupid. And here's why. I pay money to go sit, behind home plate, for example, to watch Mike Trout hit dingers. That's what I paid to do. I pay money to go see Mookie Betts fucking hit dingers. And instead, a pussy-ass pitcher who can't strike the guy out decides, oh, I'm just going to walk the guy and, we don't get the fun of, an actual competition between athletes. It's like, I'm too much of a pussy to throw down the middle or to actually play the game. I'm just going to intentionally walk you for strategic purposes. I think it's freaking stupid. I think that's a dumb play. It's dumb play because it just undermines the idea of athletes competing. I mean, if I had it my way, Connor McDavid wouldn't be going against, the shitty ass goalies in the NHL. They just say, oh, here, let me knock the net off so that, you don't get a chance to score. It's like, come on. That's what I feel the intentional walk is myself personally.
I like that one. I agree. It does suck when, there's a key situation and late in the game and, your best players come up to bat and first base is open. And a lot of times you go on first base and then it just kind of ruins the moment a little bit because that player doesn't get the chance to actually even bat. So
right. And don't get me wrong, I get the strategy if you can do it. I just don't think you should be able to do it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so here is my rule change. The one thing that I really don't like, kind of going off Eric's basketball, I just think free throws are stupid. And I think free throws should be eliminated or at least decreased in the amount of how much they're used. For me, free throws, they just slow the game down, especially late in the game. And they're not exciting to watch. They're boring. It's like if a football team had a Hail Mary pass with no defenders. It's just it's not guaranteed, but it's a hell of a lot easier. So for me, it's just not very fun to watch. So my solutions for this is one, you don't have to completely eliminate free throws, but maybe allow free throws until the fourth quarter. So it's late in the game. And then after that, if a player is fouled in the act of shooting, counts as 2 points. If he misses it, if he makes it, count it as 3. Just add on that point to it, so it automatically counts. Or you can flip flop it, allow free throws only in the fourth quarter. Or when teams are in the penalty, so after they've fouled so many guys, instead of them shooting free throws for non-shooting fouls, just give them 2 points. So if a guy is illegally blocked or whatever, and they're not shooting, just give them 2 points, move on. Or if a player is fouled, you have a 15-second one-on-one play with the shooter and the defender. So it's one-on-one, 15 seconds, just go for it. Or you make free throws a lot more difficult, and you move the basket like it is at Dave & Buster's, and it moves back and forth and side to side. You just have to try to fucking make it.
That'd be solid.
So those are my solutions to basketball free throws.
Or you could grease up the rim like the carnivals.
Yeah, exactly.
Tyler,
just make it harder or more exciting.
I would say, for the most part, like, I agree. I think the biggest part, the problem I have in regards to what you said, or like in relation to what you said, is the bonus period, is where regardless of it's free throws, but you lose possession if you're fouled. So it's to me, I think it would change the game if, yes, you still got free throws and you still maintain possession. I think that would completely change the game, that alone, because you're only fouling to change possession so that you can, have a chance to, do whatever you want. I think you should lose possession and you lose and you get, free throws shot against you. I think that's how it should be.
Yeah, I agree. For me, free throws are just boring to watch, and I just want to eliminate or at least make it more exciting. So that's my rule change, and that's all I got for this segment.
A lot to think about there, and a lot of possibilities if rule changes do occur. Thank you, Tyler. Invigorating conversation. We're going to take another break here, and on return, we're going to have a debate about a couple of baseball greats. There are a lot of great baseball players in the world right now, but there are really only two that are a tier above the rest, and that's the great Mike Trout and the Mookie Betts. Alex, take it.
Well, that kind of just fucked it for me, James. Thanks, bud. So if you guys have been not living under a rock or in Bermuda, the Dodgers did just win the World Series. And there's been a pretty healthy debate on the World Wide Web and the Twitterverse and, of who is officially the best player in baseball. For, I'd say, the last 8 years, it's been undeniable. The center fielder down there in Anaheim, Mr. Mike Trout. But with the recent success of Mookie Betts, he started to kind of creep into the conversation. And I thought it'd be interesting for us to talk about this as we have 2 Dodger fans and 3 Angel fans in this conversation. I'm hoping we can try to remain as unbiased as possible, but I have very little faith in us, to be completely honest. Just to give you some overall kind of numbers real quick. So Mookie Betts, he's been in the league 7 years. He's got an MVP. He's a 4-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, 5-time Gold Glove winner, 2-time World Series champ. Mike Trout, on the other hand, not too shabby himself, 3-time MVP, 8-time All-Star, 8-time Silver Slugger, 2-time All-Star MVP, has only played in 1 postseason in his existence, and he got swept by the Kansas City Royals. So, James, since you started it off so sassy, I know you are a huge Angels fan, and I know Mike Trout is your dude down there. I'm going to assume that with your remarks to begin with, that you do not think Mookie has overtaken Mike Trout as the best player in baseball. How close is he getting?
I don't that close, mainly because you had mentioned it in your opening remarks. You said recently Mookie Betts has started becoming part of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
And Mike Trout's been doing this for a long time. And to be honest, they're only 1 year apart in age. So you can't even say the fact that Mookie Betts is like way younger, so he has more time to come up there. It's only 1 year. Mike Trout's 29, Mookie Betts is 28. So in reality, it's like Mike Trout's been doing this for a long time. So people become used to that production. And so people no longer view it as special. They expect it all the time. Mookie Betts, on the other hand, this production, he's good, but he's been great as of recently. Like this last year, he's been great. And so it's the new novel thing that people are now latching on to, like, oh, he's going to be great. He's going to be the new guy. He's going to be way, way better than Mike Trout. That was Cody Bellinger last year. People were talking about Cody Bellinger being better than Mike Trout because he had 1 great season. Okay, cool. This season, he didn't do so hot. Mike Trout's been doing well every single season. Even if he's injury plagued, even if he's on terrible teams, he still puts out great numbers. And he keeps his team afloat as best he can. It may not be winning records, but he's providing he has a pretty good WAR. I'm not sure what the number is, but I hear it every single time I listen to baseball or watch baseball games. It's pretty high up there, and it's like record breaking the way he's winning games. So if Mookie Betts can do it, put the same production up for the next 5 years, maybe he'll be up there. But it, like you said, it's recent.
Okay, so in reference to the WAR category, so WAR is, for those of you who don't know, I still don't exactly know how it's compiled, but it's wins above replacement. So it's pretty much how much better is your player compared to like the base average MLB player is generally kind of how it works. In active players, Mike Trout is second with 74.4 WAR. His teammate Albert Pujols is first with 100.6. For perspective, Mike Trout has played 10 years. Albert Pujols has played 20, and Trout has 3/4 of what Albert Pujols has. Mookie Betts is number 17 on the active list with 45.2 WAR. Tyler, I'm going to let you follow up. You were a former employee of the Red Sox. You are a lifelong Dodgers fan. I want you to give your opinion and then kind of maybe rebuttal what James said.
Yeah, so I think undeniably Mike Trout has been the best player in baseball the last, 8 seasons. Ever since he broke in the league, he's been so consistent. And I think sometimes we take that for granted, like how good he is, because he's just been so good year in, year out. Like as James mentioned, like we kind of expect it. That's just how he is. And, Mookie Betts is this new guy coming up and he's put together his last 3 seasons or so, been super great. And he's, you mentioned WAR, and yeah, Mike Trout has a better WAR, I think, in his career than Mookie Betts, but I think the last 3 seasons I saw stat, they're pretty much equal. So in the most recent years, Mookie Betts and Mike Trout have been pretty close. Overall, I would say that Mike Trout is probably the better player. especially as far as the career goes. But then I think Mookie Betts is just, I think, has more of the wow factor and is more exciting to watch. So it kind of depends on how you value, who's better or not. And then I think the biggest difference between the two is, their postseason experience. And that's not really Mike Trout's fault, obviously. Like, the Angels management to give a good team around him is really poor. Mookie Betts, with the Red Sox and now the Dodgers, on teams that have put together amazing teams, and he's been able to be on these great championship teams that have allowed him to play on the biggest stage. And as we saw in 2020, he shines. Unfortunately, Mike Trout hasn't really gotten that opportunity, but that's not necessarily his fault. But I would say that October matters, and October, in terms of legacy, in terms of the best players shining in the brightest, the biggest stage, that matters. Derek Jeter wouldn't be Derek Jeter if not for all the success he had with the Yankees. It kind of reminds me of a different sport comparison, like Tom Brady versus Peyton Manning, like two very, very good quarterbacks, like pretty equal in terms of stats. But I think we all kind of consider Tom Brady a little better because he's won more Super Bowls than Peyton Manning has. I think this is kind of a similar comparison. Mookie Betts has won 2 already. Mike Trout, honestly, to be frank with you, Angels fans, probably won't win one. Not with Angels. I mean, maybe if they turn things around like real quick, but the clock is ticking, and I
He's
think
only got 10 more years.
Yeah, I was just saying.
So does Mookie.
But it's Mike Trout now in his prime versus like it's going to take you I don't know how many years to build an Angels team that's going to be good enough to compete. I don't know. The Dodgers are competing now. The way I see it, I still think Mike Trout overall slightly out edges Mookie Betts. But man, it's a great debate. So I'm going to slightly pick Mike Trout by a fraction.
Okay, so you're saying that overall, but right now, is Mookie Betts, yes or no, better player than Mike Trout?
I'm still going to give the edge to Mike Trout.
Okay. Eric, question for you. So Mike Trout is obviously a very well-rounded player. So is Mookie Betts. Mookie's got 5 consecutive Golden Glove awards, which is the best player at his defensive position. Mike Trout has not won a single one. You're wearing your LA Kings jersey. We watched the LA Kings win 2 championships pretty much based off of defense. How important is that in your mind as the difference between those two? Because in my mind, that's the part that kind of separates them in some regard.
That does add in some more points for Mookie Betts. And, you saw it when he was on the Red Sox, when he won a World Series with them, making like crucial defensive plays. He for sure did that this year with the Dodgers, turning around almost like he's a receiver running a route, like on his back foot, turning around, just catching like a ball that could have been like a double or even a home run. Trout has random like plays like that, or Trout has some good plays where he jumps up on the fence and literally robs home runs. But yeah, it does give Mookie an edge defensively. The way I think of it is like Mookie is more of like a clutch guy in the postseason, but we've seen that because he's been in the postseason.
Yeah,
the Angels, they failed Mike Trout so far of just getting him into the playoffs that one time, and they got swept. He didn't have the best showing, but I think I compare it like Mookie's like a clutch, kind of like a Kevin Durant, like going to a good team, making him even better. Mike Trout's like currently like a James Harden, where like he's just super good, but like hasn't had a chance really to like prove himself. Well, I guess Harden's had chances in the playoffs, but
I know, I see what you mean. Yeah. Okay, and then Tradon, I don't know if the viewers or listeners, I guess no one views us. Listeners have heard this about you, but I've heard you're a hockey guy.
Just
True?
a little bit.
Okay, cool. You were talking about this off air, so we were kind of comparing the Mike Trout versus Mookie Betts to the Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon. So give us your kind of thoughts on how these kind of two compare, and then I want to hear your thoughts on which one you think is better right now too on the Mookie Mike thing.
Yeah. It's tough. This one's tough, just like that, just like the hockey one, because you're dealing with a Nathan McKinnon who's really, I mean, we knew he was been so good for so long, but he's really come in really strong, as of late, an MVP candidate in my opinion. Year after year, getting his team to the playoffs against a player who is generational, and I think we can all agree that Mike Trout is a generational player. He's one of the best players to ever play the game. I mean, that's how Connor McDavid will go down as being one of the greatest players to ever play the game as a whole. And having a Mike Trout having a Nathan McKinnon type of player coming in within Mookie Betts, it's exciting to have these kind of conversations because you do have, it is relevant. Mookie Betts should be in the question, should be in the debate for this, just like Nathan McKinnon should be in the debate in the NHL side. Do I think that Mookie Betts is better than Mike Trout? Do I think that, just like I don't think that Nathan McKinnon is better than Connor McDavid? No. Mike Trout, as you guys have said, he's been doing it for longer. It's almost expected of him. His biggest issue, in my opinion, is the fact that he's not only on a bad team, but he's on a team that is in a small market. You put him on, you put him on
Yankees.
I know the Yankees are good, but the Yankees are not, obviously are not the Dodgers. You put him on a team that actually, everyone kind of knows and everyone follows. Everyone gets to see him. We all got to see because the Dodgers made it to the World Series. They won the World Series. Interestingly, regarding this conversation, and I didn't even bring this up with you, Alex, prior while you were thinking about this topic. I asked this question to our buddy in Indiana, Matt Rivera. I asked him the same question because he's a baseball guy. He played baseball, and his answer was, well, Mike Trout's better baseball player, but Mookie Betts is probably the more exciting one. He's got flash. He's got pizzazz. When I didn't really get to watch him play until this World Series, he was damn fun to watch, and I really did not want the Dodgers to win. I really didn't. But every time that he was up, on the plate, rounding the bases, he was electrifying, and it's fun to watch, and that draws you in, and I think that fact alone is what really is bringing Mookie Betts to the front, of the class. Maybe it's a little bit of recency bias, but that it's fair recency bias because he's proving it. It's not just that he had 2 steals in the first game or whatever he did. That's
Mookie did get us free tacos.
He did get us free tacos.
That is really important.
Mike Trout has never done that.
That's true. He hasn't
never done that.
But
Not
just
his fault,
given
though, Tyler.
Just given the fact that Mike Trout's been doing this for so long, I think and it's kind of expected of him, and he doesn't really skip a beat. It is kind of what to me puts him over the edge quite handedly. I will say this, and I think everyone in this podcast and their grandmothers will agree with me. Please, for the love of God, let there be an Angels-Dodgers World Series, because that's where you prove it. In the next 10 years, both of them have 10 years or whatever, we need a World Series between these two teams, and that is what that's the kind of thing that I think I'll watch that over an NHL Stanley Cup final. I'm not even kidding you.
Those are big words.
That would be just unbelievable stuff.
Okay. That's a lot to process. I don't know how I feel about that. You're supposed to be our hockey guy.
Yeah.
Now a baseball guy.
Yeah. Yeah, big baseball guy trading over there. So for me, I think how it's going to end up, say 40 years from now, if we're still doing this podcast, God forbid, Mike Trout will probably go down as one of the top 5 best position players of all time in the, with the Babe Ruths and the Mickey Mantles and the Willie Mays. But I think right now, Mookie Betts is a better overall player. His defense is better. He runs the base pass better. He doesn't get hurt as much. I'm not even basing this off of how good his teams are. Mike Trout's got a little bit more power. Mookie doesn't strike out as much. It's so close, but I think right now Mookie is the better player. We could be 2 weeks into the season, assuming we have a next season, and I could change my mind. So Tyler, you already kind of gave us your answer. Tradon, I think you're sticking with Mike Trout, right?
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's razor thin right now, like you said, but
right now, yeah. Okay, so Eric, right now, just who's a better player?
Right now, I'd say Trout by a smidget of a hair, like Tyler said. But I have a random question for you. You just sparked my mind. Do you think teams like key in on Mookie as hard as they do Trout, like on the scouting report? Like they have pitchers, like the pitching is set
intentionally
to like
walking them.
I'm sure that,
or like Mookie's the first batter, right? The leadoff hitter.
I mean,
Trout's
I'm sure
like,
they
the cleanup.
I'm sure they do, anything? And then they look at the rest of the lineup and they go, "Oh shit! NLCS and World Series MVP Corey Seager, Justin Turner, Max Muncy, Will Smith, Cody Bellinger." Like, now Mike Trout's got Rendon. If he's got Ohtani, the Angels lineup is pretty good, but it's when you see good. Mike Trout in that lineup, and then the rest of it. It's a little different than Mookie and Cody and Corey and all these guys.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of getting at.
Yeah, I feel that.
So let me ask you this, Alex.
Yeah.
If I were to give you, if you had to trade, just straight up trade the players, would you trade them?
No, I'd keep Mookie.
What if the Dodgers lost this year? Would you do the trade?
No, I still wouldn't do it. I think the fact that Mookie, there's other circumstances involved too, like not just player for player. Like I think the person that Mookie is, like Mike Trout is a pretty low key dude.
Yeah.
He likes the weather. Like that's like his shit outside of baseball. Like he likes talking about the weather. And I think for Mookie, like being an African American and playing on the Dodgers is such a huge aspect for him. And I think that's so cool. Like that's one of the bigger reasons I would never want to trade him. Okay, James, you're the only one who hasn't given us a definitive.
Mike Trout by a whole hair.
One whole hair.
One whole hair. By a whole hair on Tyler's chin.
It's better than razor thin.
Those are baby hair. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Okay. You guys let us know what you think. If there's someone else out there, I don't know who it would be, but you let us know. Other than that, I'm done, James.
So that's a debate that we're going to have for probably forever. It'll probably never be settled, but it's fun to do it anyway. We're going to take our last break of the day, but when we return, Eric is going to tell us about the Masters Turn 1. Welcome back. Ladies and gentlemen, the Super Bowl of golf, the biggest golf tournament of the year, is finally here. The 2020 Masters Tournament officially begins this Thursday. Eric, tell us all about it.
Yes, the greatest tournament of all time. In my opinion, the Masters, of course, that's highly debatable. So normally, let's just get into everything, course info. We're just going to go over every fucking detail. So normally this tournament takes – Alex, brace yourself. Normally this tournament takes place in April every year. It was ruined this year by the terrible world-ending virus. Last year, Tiger won it all. A lot of people doubted said he would never win a major again. I actually was one of the people to say that. Of course, I was wrong about sports. What's new? Even when he was winning, he was leading on Friday. So basically, he's leading the second day of 4. Usually that's bad in golf. I remember one of our players comes in. He was actually into golf. He's like, Tiger's leading it. I'm like, there's no way he's going to hold it. He's like, you're just fucking negative. Of course, he ends up winning it all. So every year the winner receives a nice green jacket, as they say in Happy Gilmore. Green jacket, gold jacket, who gives a shit? Something like that. So this year is going to be a little different because normally it's in April. Now this year, of course, it's in November. There's more moisture because they're going to be watering the course every day. That's because there's colder temperatures with winds, which dries out the grass. That fucks with your shot, according to Bryson DeChambeau, Tradon's boy. There's going to be no fans. That's, not the most important thing in golf, but you're not going to hear the people yelling, "Let's go, Tiger," as it's a good shot. Last year, even on the 18th hole, when he was leading by a stroke, there was literally like 200 people. Yes, that's like all of our listeners per podcast following him to the hole, like chasing behind him with 5 security guards like around him, backing everyone down. It's definitely an iconic moment in the world of golf. Another difference this year, the ESPN College Game Day will be held on Saturday from 9 a.m. to noon, overlooking the 9th hole. So just be ready for that dude Lee Corso, who always throws on like the cutout mascot head of who he thinks is going to win. Like throw on like a DeChambeau or a Ricky Fowler head or whoever the fuck he thinks is going to win. I feel like that may fuck with guys when they're on the 9th hole. It's only on Saturday. Let's get into the players. So here's a note. Sergio Garcia, he was the 2017 Masters champion, will miss the tournament because he tested positive for the virus. That just sucks. Yeah, that's shitty. Tradon is just fucking in disgust. The linebacker trapped in a scientist's body, Bryson DeChambeau. You knew I was going to talk about him. Once again, he's a favorite. He was asked again a few weeks ago what he's working on. He said he wants to swing and hit the ball faster. Tradon, apparently he complained about a practice round on hole 16 the other day. His spin rate was too hard, which fucked up his distance on the shot multiple times. In other words, the course was too soft and windy. What's your thoughts on that? I know he complained about like red ants and other random shit. What do you got to say about this?
Look, when it comes to this guy, I've been very reluctant to say this finally, but you know, the guy is really changing the way we think we should be thinking about the sport. His whole idea is to outdrive, outdistance, outpower the course. There's no laying up on a par 5. That's typical. Like typically you're on the green in 3 on a par 5. That's normal. That's not how he plays. He's going for it every single time. And, you know, if course conditions are going to push that back, that's going to make it hard for someone who's really just, you know, for the last 8 to 10 months, focused on just that, out driving the course. So when course, you know, when the environment is, you know, up against you and it's too windy or it's too soft and the course conditions aren't to your liking in terms of what strategy you're bringing to the course, yeah, that's going to piss you off. But I'll tell you this, man, I don't like the guy, but I do appreciate the fact that he's changing the way we think about the game, and his peers are following suit. He's getting a lot of kudos from, you know, his peers like Tiger and you know, to name a few, but
Jack
Tiger's
Nicklaus.
a huge one. You know, and you know, I think it's pretty amazing to see that he's changing the way we think about it, changing the way we should think about it. And I go back to when we had this conversation. We asked James, would you rather have power or distance? And I thought he was crazy for saying he'd rather have power, power or accuracy. And I thought it was crazy for saying power. And Bryson would have, you know, been right with him there.
Yeah. He definitely is changing the game. Jack Nicklaus kind of gave him some recognition as well. Another
huge.
golf great. Yeah.
This is from a guy who's saying that they need to make courses longer because guys are just hitting it too far.
Yeah.
He's an old school guy.
For sure. Some more guys. Justin Thomas. He's just been dominating this year. You can't count him out. He will be ready.
Love my boy.
Harris English. 8 top 20 finishes this year in every tournament that he's played in, and he got 4th place in that U.S. Open that DeChambeau ended up winning. Victor Hovland, this is the dude that James, he hit driver on deck, that video you sent us. But he's moved up to the top 25 golfers of this year. He's playing well. Don't count him out. Patrick Cantlay, this dude just won the Zozo Championship in Thousand Oaks, Tyler. He's actually went to my high school too, which is pretty fucking crazy. Tiger, you know we got to talk about him. Tyler, I'm kind of directing this question to you. He is the GOAT of golf, in my opinion. He's losing his touch. He's getting older. He won this tournament last year. He's won this tournament a few times before. He's only played 6 tournaments so far this year and done pretty bad. In other words, he's playing a lot less golf. And I think even though he's the GOAT, I don't know if he could pull it off this year. Is he even going to make the cut?
Man, I hope so. I mean, Tiger Woods, defending Masters champion. He's won it 5 times, as you said. He could probably play his course with a blindfold on and probably still shoot under par. I mean, this dude's a legend, as we all know. Going into his win last year, he was playing very well. And I think people were kind of thinking, okay, Tiger might have a good shot to win it. And he did, and it was awesome. This year, as you mentioned, different story. He's not played well, missed the cut at the U.S. Open. His best finish, I believe, was tied for 37th at the PGA Championship. That's not going to get it done. So my expectations for Tiger Woods going into this Masters tournament are pretty low. I hope he at least makes the cut, and I hope we see him play golf on Sunday. You know, maybe within the conversation, that'd be awesome. But in terms of Tiger Woods hoisting up that trophy at the end, I'm not going to expect it. But but hopefully he plays 4 rounds of golf. That's my hope for Tiger.
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with you. I hope we see him in at least the top 10. It's always great when Tiger is doing that. Quick side note, because you made me think of when you said hoisting, when that dude Morikawa won the first major of the year and he hoisted up the trophy and dropped it. Quick crazy side note, his caddy is a Chico State alumni. So maybe that will get Alex to
Dude,
like
I'm in.
him. I don't know.
Who is
yeah,
this
he's
dude?
in.
I'm listening. What's this dude's name?
He's Jakarov is his last name.
He's my dude.
Yeah, he's the caddy for Morikawa, who won a major this year. He's like a kid from Berkeley, I believe, or from the Bay Area that went to Berkeley. Asian dude, super good, up and coming. But yeah, his caddy, man, Chico State alumni. We got a shout out to the Wildcats.
Heck yeah.
Last year, I'll talk about Ricky Fowler because I was him for Halloween. Guess what? He just shaved his fucking mustache. The thing that he's like kind of been iconic for. I think that's either going to make him win because now me and him don't look alike, and he's probably better at golf than me, or he's just going to completely miss the cut. Those are his
probably
only
better
two
at golf
options.
than you. He's a professional golfer.
Yeah, he's way better. He's way better. Those are his only 2 options, though. No other option in between. Let's talk about the course like we always do. So it's different this year, as we mentioned with Tradon and all the different weather differences. And there's going to be 2.5 hours less of light because fucking daylight savings. Alex, do you think any like weather or daylight savings or having to be on football Sunday, is that going to fuck with anything in these golfers' heads, or does it not make a difference at all?
Dude, I would assume so. I was curious, when you were talking about the weather, like what the difference is in it's in Georgia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like the difference between April in Georgia and November in Georgia, the weather should be interesting. I would assume, like, especially for a guy like Tiger, who's played there so many times and it's always been in April, like all the shadows and the light will be completely different. So I, from my limited golf experience, which has only been at the crack of dawn in 95-degree heat, like you would assume the different lighting would be a factor for sure. Like lighting coming through the trees, lighting coming from different angles, like into your line of sight. Yeah, I mean, obviously they get a shit ton of practice rounds, but like, who knows what happens day of?
Yeah, that's actually a good point. I didn't even think about that. Plus, I saw like this weird, like there's different flowers and different things blooming, which now that you say that could fuck with the shadows or maybe sunlight too. Shambo eyes and he complains about it. I wouldn't be surprised. Another random like betting tip that I heard, bet the Euros in this tournament to do well because the conditions are more similar to like European links style courses. So Hovland, a dude I mentioned, hits driver on deck. Fucking bet him. Who knows? Maybe just bet him one day, see how it goes, take it from there. Rory is a Euro. There's another dude. He won a major last year. I can't remember his name, but bet him.
Bet him, but we don't know his name.
Yeah, he's the guy that won the British Open. Tradon, you remember his name?
What about Oosthuizen? That's South African dude.
Oosthuizen. Bet him. The dude who looks like Shrek. Bet him.
You're thinking it's Shane Lowry, man.
Shane Lowry, yes. There's a good story about him, too. where he was just completely hammered in the bar after a major tournament when he thought it was cut. So he's like, I'm fucking done. I'm not making it. And apparently he made the cut. So he was just hungover as shit the next day, ended up doing well. It's kind of like me when I play golf. So there's going to be 2 starting tee times each day. One will be on the first hole, like a pair on the first hole and a pair beginning on the 10th hole going in reverse. That's kind of normal, I think, with a lot of tournaments when it's on the East Coast. I still think it's going to throw people out of the loop because normally this tournament in April, there's longer sun so that they don't have to do that. Here's another thing, James, I want to run this by you. The tournament has to conclude at 4 p.m. Eastern time, I believe, because it's aired on CBS, and CBS will be airing a football game because it's fucking Sunday football. Normally it's in the spring, so it's playoff basketball and hockey and like regular baseball going, but it's not like, week 10 or 11 football. And I know you're a big football guy. You are our football guy. But this is the Masters, the most golf tournament, and now you're, into golf. What are you going to pay more attention to this week? The Niners aren't doing too good. I don't know who they play this week. What's your focus going to be like? Is it going to be back and forth, like Jimmy G or fucking DeChambeau? Come on now.
There's a lot of problems with what you just said there, first and foremost. Jimmy G is on IR, so he's not going to be playing. The
Mullins, whatever the fuck his name is.
Mullins, it would be Mullins. The Niners play the Saints, and after they just whooped on the Buccaneers, I fully expect the Niners to be down by 49 points at half. So I will be going back and forth to give me some sort of joy and hope while watching golf, and then just destroy all that joy and hope while watching the Niners. So, yeah, it'll be back and forth for me.
So you'd be like mad happy, mad neutral,
exactly,
mad neutral.
Yeah. Expect silver doors to be flying a bunch.
Let's just go to Tradon's house. I could bang on the walls again too. So the winds are higher, the course is drier, balls roll. It kind of looks like when you hit the ball like well, and you're super excited, and then it just like more of a pop fly, doesn't go far, doesn't roll at all. The last time like conditions were even similar to this in a major was a dude, Zach Johnson, ended up winning the Masters with a +1 final score. So he was over par, which is crazy to think. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Bet the Euros. Don't count out DeChambeau. I'm hoping Ricky Fowler does well because he's never won a major. I'm hoping Tony Finau does well. He's never won a major. Trade, anything else? You going to take notes?
Yeah,
Sunday?
dude. We're going to get 2 Masters in 6 months.
Oh, shit.
So, fuck COVID, but also thank you, COVID.
Yeah. I'd say there's 2 good things about COVID. That would be one, and the other is that it only takes me like 30 minutes to drive to LA now for work. But,
silver linings, baby.
Yeah, you got to think of the positives. And that's being negative on a COVID test. That just threw my brain for a whirl. Maybe that'll be the title. Who knows? But that's all I got this week, guys.
Guys, I don't know about you, but I'm pretty excited to watch some golf this week. Remember, it starts on Thursday, so tune in to whatever channel Eric just said, CBS. Yeah, the Golf Channel.
Doesn't it change?
I think Thursday and Friday will be Golf Channel, and Saturday, Sunday goes to CBS.
Yep, Golf Channel,
Probably.
CBS. That's what's going to be at starting Thursday. Tune in. All right, that pretty much wraps up episode 21 of TLDR Podcast. Thank you for listening. If you didn't like that episode, let's pretend it never happened. We'll try again next week. But if you did, go ahead and tell your friends. That'd be awesome. And also give us a review on Apple Podcasts. We love hearing from you. All right, that pretty much is it, like I said. So we hope you have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.